I feel your passion for saying, it's time for us to co-author our own news story. So can you tell us a little bit about what you mean by that?
Sure, sure. Yeah, that's a good question. And when I'm with my live audiences, what I found is the word story for some people uh, takes on a significance. It's like a casual conversation that you would have over a latte at Starbucks, and it's interesting, but it's academic. That is the way people often think of our story. So I'm going to begin just by sharing a little bit about why our story is so important. We live our lives based upon the way we have been taught to think about ourselves. We live our lives based upon our story. So we solve our problems. We each have problems every day in our lives. Sometimes they're little problems like logistical problems of when to pick up the kids and what to do with lockdowns and how to go to the bank and get groceries. But those are little problems. Sometimes they're big problems, but we solve our problems every day of our lives based upon our story. We choose our relationships based upon our story. And I want people to think about this. Every person that's in your life right now is based upon your self esteem, your sense of self worth, the way you've been taught to think about your relationship to other people in the world. So, the people that you invite into your life, the people that you invite into your home, and we're all adults here, and this is important, the people you invite into your bed, your most intimate relationships are all based upon your story, the way you've been taught to think about yourself. We heal our bodies based upon our story. When we go to a medical professional or a holistic professional, and they say that something is happening with us that may not be in our best interest, something in our body is happening that may not be in our best interest, the way we respond to that information is based upon our story. Our social policies, our world is changing. Boy, is it ever. My world is changing. Your world is changing. Wherever you are in the world watching this, you are impacted by a change like we've never seen before. And the way that we respond to that change is based upon our story, our social policies, the laws that we enact, the policies that we embrace, the way we treat one another in our homes, in our communities, in our society, in our nation, and between nations. So all of a sudden, you begin to see when we talk about our story, rather than being academic on the back burner and something just interesting, it's on the front burner for all of us. It's up for all of us. Nothing could be more important. And this even covers the way that our body functions, our response to contagions in the environment, our immune response, our longevity, our resilience, our intuition, all are based in the way that we access these things according to our story. And this is interesting because so the question is where's our story come from? We all have a story. We may not be consciously aware of it, but it's there. Story comes from our family, the way we're taught to think about ourselves when we grow up. It comes from our friends, from our neighborhood, it comes from our school, it comes from what science teaches us about who we are and where we come from and what our potential is. And the universe, it comes from media. There is a battle playing out for our story right now because the stakes have never been higher, Shamini. The stakes have never been higher on this planet. There's a battle for our thoughts, there's a battle for our beliefs, and I think we all sense that. But what we may not know is there's a battle for our very humanness, the very essence of what it is that separates us from all other forms of life and makes us so unique. The very essence of those potentials is now being threatened by technology in ways you're not hearing much about this in the mainstream. So I just wanted to begin our conversation by saying that the story is more than just a little, interesting pastime tidbits of conversation. It's up for all of us right now. And that's why this summit is so important, because I'm going to share with you, and you're right, some of the science has been around for a long time. Some of it is only within the last 12 to 16 months, discoveries of new neurons in the human brain. I mean, who would think at this late date in 2021, we're still discovering new neurons? Some scientists think we've already got it all figured out. We found everything. Neurons in the human heart that think and feel and sense and remember independently of the brain. New stem cells, a new class of stem cells that do not decline with age, that we have the ability to access until the last breath that we take on this planet. So people say, why don't we know about those things? And that's why we're here. So I wanted to lay that foundation. And now I'd like to kind of share and contrast the story that most of us have been led to believe with the new story that's emerging.